So, last year when we were here, do you remember what our topic was?
Mostly about cow protection.
I thought so. Maybe 2 years ago too.
Yeah.
So, as I told devotees in the temple this morning, I had no intention on focusing on this cow protection again. Maybe devotees are becoming tired of hearing that from me. Yet, many articles have been coming my direction the last few days. Not only that, but even purport that we're reading in Bhagavatam class in the temple. Shall Prabhupada's purport from Light of Bhagavat. This is commentary on 10th chapter, 10th canto, 20th chapter of Bhagavatam, Krishna Lila. Ganapati Prabhu. Do either of you have an iPad with you?
iPad, we have it at home. But not
Okay, all right.
She has iPod.
Yes.
Do you have it?
You have
She
iPod?
She has iPod. Yeah.
See, I was hoping Raju was going. He always has his iPad ready to go.
Yeah, she has. The smaller one.
So, Swamihini Mataji, can you look up 10th canto? You have database in there, right? 10th canto, 20th chapter, text 47. 10, 20, 47. This is the shloka we were doing in the temple this morning. So whether it's a sloka in the temple, or whether different articles are coming on the internet, or letters from my godbrothers, everything is pointing again that you have to talk about this topic. So I have no choice, we have to follow Krishna's direction. But I noticed one article today, which I think will be relevant to all of you. It is on our ISKCON site, ISKCON News. You get ready, okay? And it's by this fellow, I think you know, Deepak Chopra. Yeah?
Sharma.
Oh, is it Sharma?
Deepak Chopra.
Deepak Chopra.
This is Sharma here. Oh, I'm sorry. Deepak Sharma. Okay. And it's about the topic of should Hindus observe Christmas? So all the kids who think yes, raise their hands. All the kids who think no, raise their hands. You're not a kid. Come on, I don't think you're being truthful. All the kids who think we should observe Christmas, raise their hands. Shh. Well, I guess we have no problem. You never had a problem with that?
Krishna don't really care.
Oh. Okay. Everyone is raising their kids very nicely.
You want me to read this, Mara?
No,
Just pause. 10, 20, 47. So, we'll start with this article by Deepak Sharma about Hindus and Christmas.
Can you read it?
Yes.
Okay, so.
Mm-hmm.
There is no period in the Gregorian calendar more demanding and transformative for diaspora diaspora Hindus than the weeks leading up to and culminating with Christmas.
Anyone know what that means, diaspora? Diaspora Hindus. It means those who have immigrated out of their homeland. All of you? Okay, start again. Loud and clear.
Start again.
Yeah, loud and
And
clear.
can you face a little bit this way, please?
Diaspora? Okay. There is no period in the Gregorian calendar more demanding and transformative for diaspora Hindus than the weeks leading up to and culminating with Christmas. In daycares and schools, in workplaces and civic spaces, on television and in the digital media in North Americas, Hindus are constantly reminded about the holy days of Christians. Self-reflection is inevitable and inescapable when one is frequently enjoined to have a Merry Christmas or even to enjoy the holidays, when one sees no reason to celebrate the birth of Christ or when the days are ahead are not considered holy. With all the marketing of merriment and conspicuous consumption, it is hard for diaspora Hindus not to feel left out, lacking, or deprived. This is especially true for the children of immigrants who are painfully aware of gift exchanges in schools and classrooms before Christmas and the plethora of presents that Christian classmates have received, made aware either after Christmas vacation is over or by observing the curbside evidence the day after Christmas. Christian classmates are stupefied that their poor and downtrodden Hindu friends have not received any gifts, confirming unfortunate stereotypes about poverty in India, and seemingly delinquent Hindu parents are forced to answer accusations of injustice and child abuse from their confused children. Hindus have responded to the challenges of living in a Christian-centric society in many ways, though I will examine only two here.
The first of all, so no one owned up and raised their hands of the kids saying that we should observe Christmas. So how many of you have Christmas trees in your house? Okay. So, no pressure from the kids to do that?
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of pressure.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, for Christmas trees?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think you can relate to what he's saying. See, he's saying that the kids are going to school, okay? And all the kids in school, all the Christian kids, they're having pageants, Christmas nativity pageants. They're all talking about Santa Claus and presents that are getting. And he's saying on the side of the road, you can see the morning after, all the boxes, you know, and the garbage from the night before that Santa brought. So it's all pervading. It's all pervading, no?
Okay.
And every place you drive, all the shopping traffic, all the billboards, advertising, everything, the music, starting after Thanksgiving Day, right? The next morning, everything is Christmas carols. So, there must be some kind of pressure that you're feeling. So he's talking about this. Okay, go on.
Ho, 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 hota hey, you have to do it. Many Hindus celebrate Christmas. Inundated by Christmas cheer and pressured by their children, Christmas has become part of the lives of diaspora Hindus. Some have decided to celebrate Krishna superficially as a mere commercial holiday. They purchase Christmas trees, gifts for one another, and encourage their children to enjoy the Santa Claus myth in the same way that they may encourage their children to enjoy and benefit from the Tooth Fairy myth. They classify Christmas as a secular, commercial festival for children in the same way that Father's Day, for example, is a festival for fathers.
So Father's Day, or 4th of July, you know, Tooth Fairy, things like this. There's some kind of benefit to go along with it. So he's saying some Hindus, they just go ahead, follow Christmas in the same purpose. Just secular holiday. No spiritual meaning to it. So what does it hurt? What's the harm? Just go along with it and make peace with the children. And then those children will also make peace with their friends in school. Raju, you brought your iPad?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So now the second reason.
Others utilize Hindu, specifically Vaishnava theology, to reconfigure Christmas to be a Hindu tradition. Vaishnavas believe that Vishnu has avatars, incarnations. These avatars of Vishnu appear and act in the world in order to defend Dharma and his devotees. They characterize Christ to be an avatar of Vishnu. By including Christ as just another avatar of Vishnu, they indirectly make Christianity just another sect of Hinduism. It is not surprising that the retail world has reacted to these markets in North America by making available Hindu ornaments that can be used on Christmas trees. Though the intended market is likely non-Indian, New Age yoga practitioners, it overlaps with diaspora Hindu families. The Christmas tree, a popular symbol of Christmas in North America, is reappropriated by Hindus and spiced with Hindu flavors. No matter what narrative is given about the relevance of Christmas, secular, Vaishnavics, etc., many Hindu parents believe that they have to accept and celebrate it, given the pressures of their immediate surroundings, and shame that they will likely feel if they do not permit their children to have fun in these prescribed ways. Christmas celebration has become another dharmic obligation.
So there are many different pressures that are coming from our association in this very materialistic culture. It's not hard to see when I meet some students at ASU who have just come from India. First semester. Usually, they're very respectful and they're vegetarian and they have some religion. But after 1 or 2 years, that all changes. So whether it's Christmas or so many other diversions there, I think maybe for your kids, maybe Christmas isn't such a problem anymore, say as Harry Potter. What about Harry Potter? Any of your kids get into that? No?
All the kids.
Is it? Nobody's speaking up. See, I came here, as I said, I didn't know what should I speak on. I don't want to just talk about crop protection again. But all these things are coming and pointing in one direction. So I'm trying to present with this article there's a problem. But nobody wants to admit.
The last 3 lunch meetings at work, people have asked me, have you bought a Christmas gift? The same question, because they're surprised to hear no.
Yeah.
So, and they were asking.
Your work.
Yes.
So just, but for you, you're adult, you're used to it. So no problem. But what about a 5-year-old, 10-year-old kid when they have to face that pressure from their peers? Then they become very upset if they don't fit in with the crowd. Yes. So first of all, we need to admit there's a problem. the larger problem is that we may come to this country with some religious sentiment. And that sentiment, in interaction with larger, mundane, secular society, is chipped away at, slowly and surely. Whether ourselves, as adults, family, persons, or as college students, or as little kids. I think that's a problem, and I think everyone will admit, to some degree, it's a problem we all face. In your workplace, in school, and so what is the solution? Well, one easy solution, or maybe not so easy solution, is if we all become muktas. We all become liberated, transcendental to the gunas, nirguna, so that we are not affected by anything around us. So we can go to hell even, and we remember God. But how many of us fit in that category? We're all affected by our surroundings. We're all products of our environment until we reach the point of liberation. But that's why we're here in this world. We're not liberated. And it's our purpose, our duty, our pursuit to strive for liberation in this human form of life. So, how to exist in a society which the current is going the other direction of where we want to go. If some of you have just been in America for even a couple of decades, I think you'll agree that how swiftly the current is flowing towards materialism and degradation. Thanks, when I was a kid in the 50s, what we used to watch on TV and what you can see on TV now, there's no comparison. How the standards of morality have crumbled and degenerated to the bottom of the pit. Anything goes. Freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of media. And if you don't go along with it, if you object, then you're not cool. You're not liberal. You're old-fashioned. Nobody likes to seem like that amongst their peers, amongst society, isn't it? So, we're not liberated. One solution is just to not be affected by it. To be able to live in the world, like Jesus said, and not be affected by it. But who can do that? So what's another solution?
Celebrate in a Krishna way. Celebrate in a Krishna way. Celebrate in a Krishna way, like we have a Christmas tree at home.
No, I'm speaking of the larger problem, okay? Of how to interact with the materialistic culture when we are spiritual seekers. How to maintain our spirituality within a culture where the flow is so strong in the other direction. We're swimming against that current. Okay. So if we're totally transcendental, no problem. Like Prabhupada came. He said, I'm not going to be affected. I'm not going to change according to their whims. they told him, you should learn, Swamiji, how to wear suit and tie and eat with spoon and fork. And why not take some meat? It doesn't have to be cow. Take some chicken or lamb or something. The Prabhupada said, I'm not going to there to learn from him. I'm going to change them, to teach them. But who can do that? Nobody can do that. Practically every Swami who came from India in this last century, practically every single one, at least, those who came when they had no association, when they had no culture here to support them, they all fell dead. They all became degenerate. And these are big, sannyasis. So what to speak of us? So what's another solution? Just make the whole place God conscious. Right? How practical is that? How's that going to happen? Prabhupada barely put a dent into America. Such a powerful person. So, third solution, which none of you will think is practical either, is the one that Prabhupada gave us. He said that you learn how to live in pockets in this culture. So you are not dependent upon it. Something like the Amish. Okay? Where they have separated themselves, maybe too much, like I mentioned, you won't think this is very practical. But you have to judge. We have to ask ourselves. What was it you said the other day, Prabhu? Winston Churchill? What was it?